What is going on, YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today we got another matchup from our locals showdown. Yeah, it's round 3, and we got Chirrut returning once again because we are recording top tables. And Chirrut is taking on director Krennic, which is coming with the Energy Conversion Lab. So blue-green taking on red-blue. Should be fun. Like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But yeah, we're gonna kind of recap some of these characters and kind of go over the whole video. And like always, because this video is best of 3, we are going at 125% speed, just kind of help, bring it down a little bit when it comes to how long you're sitting here watching a video. And obviously, as you just saw, there's a weird kind of split in the middle. That's just because we're trying to save space due to the size of the tables and the distance of the mat, bring it a little bit closer to make it easier to see. So yeah, Chirrut, interesting leader. On the undeployed side, he just kind of gives a +0, +2 to a unit, and that can be any unit. And then on the deployed side, during the action phase, this unit isn't defeated by having no HP remaining. But of course, during the regroup phase, if it has no HP remaining, you defeat it. So you have a chance to kind of rebuff him if he takes damage. And then the director over here, on the undeployed side, gives each friendly damage unit a +1, +0, which goes really nice with what the first unit they play, and I'll talk about that in a second. And on the deployed side, it's a Restore 2 with the same effect, giving all friendly damage units a +1, +0. So we're going to start off with kind of the earlier turns. We saw hit the board a Scout Bike. I don't have the card here in front of me for some reason. But it's a 1/4 with grit. And so, the more damage it takes, the stronger it becomes in the long run. And then we have Green Squadron hit the board as well, but as we just saw, both of these players use their epic actions immediately take care of the space units. We do not want those in this matchup, apparently. And we have Yoda hitting the board, following it up with a man, I gotta remember all these card names. Baze. Baze has grit as well, and then when you have the initiative, it gains initiative. It gains Sentinel, so a little more protection here, as we're seeing. And Yoda over here being a 2/4, I think it is. It's either 2/4 or 1/4. It is a 2/4 with Restore 2, and then when defeated, choose any number of players, and they each draw a card, which means you can choose yourself, which is pretty cool. So we got a little damage going on here for 3-1 with Chirrut taking the initiative here, and then getting a 1 additional poke going on there. And yeah, the leader here with the director combined with the Scout Bike Pursuer, it's going to be really great because once they start taking damage, it immediately gets additional on top of that. So this early card eventually can become at most a 4/4. Or I guess a 4/1 by the time it gets to that much damage. Chirrut is being deployed here. And as we saw last game, we do know the Chirrut player likes to immediately give it buffs. We want to keep Chirrut alive as long as possible because the more HP Chirrut has, the harder it is to get rid of them. So it looks like we're debating on possibly deploying the leader. As a reminder, the director can also deploy with 5 resources as well. And here we're just kind of double checking what Chirrut does to know what furthering actions they want to proceed with. So we are deploying it. And we know in the past video we've seen the Chirrut player kind of deal with the leaders pretty quickly, but instead we went with the one with the Force, I think it's called. Yeah, the Force is with me, sorry. Which is choose a friendly unit, gives 2 experience tokens, and then if you have control of a Force unit, you also give a shield token to the chosen unit, and you may attack with the chosen unit. And keep in mind, Chirrut is a Force user, so it kind of just works out here, getting these buffs going on. We do have a Death Trooper coming out, which goes hand in hand with the Scout Bike, because when it's played, you deal 2 damage to a friendly ground unit, to deal 2 damage to an enemy ground unit. So kind of boosting up Scout Bike now to with grit, making it normally 3, making it now 4. Sorry, I think at most it could be a 5/1. So the Chirrut player is currently kind of exhausted out on resource with still 1 unit on the board to attack with if they wish. And then we still have 2 open resources on the general side with Yeah. Oh, we did miss it happening. Yes. 4-star was happen. Discarding a Luke Skywalker to completely take out the leader. We got a pass going on here. There is some option. I think I saw the super laser technician in the director's hand, which depending on what the Chirrut player does could be very beneficial. Just kind of see if it's worth paying the 3 energy because they've already used ECL already. So getting 4 damage out now, kind of boosting up the damage to a 310 when it comes to base damage. Having 2 resources for a C3PO. Normally you don't see that one without R2D2. And they managed to get the call, which was great. So when it's played, you call a number, you reveal the top card of your deck pretty much. And then if it's that number, or if the cost of that card is that number, you get to add it to your hand. So it just worked out really great. It was a Fleet Lieutenant. So we know what's coming down in a couple turns, probably, if not this turn. Yoda's trading with the bike scout. Scout bike. There we go. Taking it out. That grit combined with the leader is getting a little bit too much. X-Wing comes out kind of boosting. Oh, we're debating on who to boost here. And we are boosting Chirrut. So Chirrut is naturally a 3-5. This makes him with 4 experience tokens a 7-9. And he has 3 damage on him, so he's technically a 7-6 right now. Tapping 7 resources. Darth Vader. Darth Vader's a good one. It has ambush. It will deal 5 damage. So it wouldn't just straight out finish Chirrut. So instead he decides to go after C3PO. Because technically if he would have attacked Chirrut, it would have taken Darth Vader out as well. This is why you keep it around the board, or possibly cause the Chirrut player to kind of waste an attack to go into Vader and get rid of it. And we got another scout bike pursuer on board as well with the Vader ability. And we're swinging a couple more damage points into the base. And keep in mind, a steadfast battalion has everyone but one attack. If you control a leader unit, you give it a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. Kind of handy when you have a leader unit in play, but unfortunately it doesn't right now. So it's just a 5/5, which still isn't bad. Yeah, and this is Chirrut player using the attack to kind of take out Vader here. I might have missed something while kind of going over this and just kind of rereading these cards real quick as we go through it. But Vader is naturally a 5, so I'm not sure what happened to reduce its attack to deal less damage to the Chirrut leader. But we have another X-Wing coming on board, just boosting up Chirrut even higher. I think he's at 12 now, because Chirrut also has the lightsaber attached to it. That might have been it, actually. So the Jedi lightsaber, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, okay. I forgot that he used the upgrade card. So if attack with unit is a force unit, it gained on attack, give defending unit a -2/-2 for this phase. And it's a +3/+3. So yeah, so you have the Chirrut at a 3/6 and then a 6 additional experience token. So a 12 power sitting at 7 damage, which would make it, man, 8? 3, 5, it's 8 plus 14, 7. So it's a 12/7 right now. We are sitting 5-13 when it comes to total base damage. Oh, we got an OB coming out on the Steadfast, which makes it 7 damage, clearing out the X-Wings, which is very smart, and then kind of applying whatever leftover damage you can towards the Chirrut. Redemption coming out to heal the base, and he does heal it up for 8 points. And keep in mind, Redemption does have Sentinel, so from here on out, it's at least gonna eat 1 attack. They were just kind of making sure that the players know where they're sitting at when it comes to Chirrut's power. And like I said earlier, it is 12, which will boost the damage up to 17 for the Krennic player. And currently sitting with 5, 11, 12 points of damage. The Chirrut player has, leader has 2 remaining health points right now. And the Krennic decides to take initiative instead of using the last 3 resources, which is smart because if they were to probably play another card or even attack with the Scouter Bike, it would be giving initiative to the Chirrut player, and then from that point on, they can swing for game. So here, you kind of get the extra 2 draws and see if they can get anything to kind of hold them over, at least for this round, either a Sentinel or even possibly Dooku here. So Dooku on play, you may defeat a unit with 4 less remaining HP. And so using this to kind of take out Chirrut, but hey, we have another the forces with me to kind of give a nice little buff for redemption attacking. So that does wrap up round 1. We are going into round 2 now. We did have a sideboard that I kind of edited out for them to kind of figure out what they want to kind of switch out for this particular matchup. And let's see if it makes a difference. So right now we're waiting for the resources. The Chirrut player did have to do a mulligan. But yeah, if these are also decks you guys play, let me know in the comments down below how what's your take on it compared to their builds. So we're starting out with another Scouter Bike and a Restore 1, I think it is. Or no, it's Restore Arc. Restore Arc 170, there we go, which is a 2/3 and will restore 1 damage. Going into the next phase. So this would be interesting because the current player does have initiative. So even though they attack with 1 point of damage, it didn't do much, unfortunately, because the Restore just kind of cleaned it up. Chirrut do playing a Fleet Lieutenant to kind of boost up the Restore Arc for this phase. Playing out the Death Trooper to kind of get the damage to the Grit. Kind of hitting Fleet Lieutenant real quick, but then the Chirrut player decided to activate their epic action on their base to kind of just get Rivet. I think the word they use is, I don't like that card. Which is fair, because right then at that point, it's 4 damage per attack. Going to the next phase, we got to sit in a 4-0 right now. And the first play, we got another base coming out to the play. And this, yeah, just seeing this right here works out great. Just a good way to kind of get that trade off. Forces with me giving that 2 experience points there. And just finishing it up from here. Yeah, clean, kind of doing a nice little trade. I'm actually a bit confused. Because I felt like they gave him this shield token when he didn't have a forced unit in play. Because the Restore Arc's just a vehicle and the Fleet Lieutenant is a Rebel Trooper. We do have the current leader kind of hitting the board right now. With still 5 open resources, and we did an attack here, which brought their base down to 6 points. The Chirrut player, this has been very interesting. They used their action to buff up the Restore Arc, and I think that was an attempt to get to see what the current player would do in this situation, like see if they could play something and then they could turn around and just do something else afterwards. And they did use ECL to kind of swing into the Restore Arc. Chirrut hitting the board here, swinging into Krennic. And then we have a force throw. He is allowing the Krennic player to make a discard. Discard 1 card to take out now the spaceship. which is the Star Viper. And we are passing here. Pay 1 resource, yeah, just getting rid of that. That's not bad at all. Sorry, I said 1, but 4. We saw last round how good Chirrut could be if you allow it to ramp up too much. And it looks like that was another pass going into the next phase, sitting at 7 resources apiece and only 2 to 3 damage right now, which is just crazy to think how far we're in the game, and they've just been kind of controlling each other's boards. Luke Skywalker hits the board here, taking out the Krennic leader, and Count Dooku comes out as well, just kind of popping on the other person's Yoda. Passing once again here, we have Luke sitting at 6-7. We have a Count Dooku with a shield, who is sitting at a 5-4. Yeah, that's what it was. So Krennic does have the start, and we go ahead and knock out that shield token using the disabling Fang Fighter. But we got Obi coming back just to take out the Luke Skywalker. Kaden hits the board, which, as a reminder, when Kaden attacks, your opponent mills a card, and depending on how many aspects that card has, you get to heal some damage. I think I skipped over it, but there was a part in the video where the Krennic leader attacked again and went down from 6 to 2. It's supposed to be, it should have gone on 4, but later we saw that there was a correction there and they didn't go down to 0 when they made another attack. Just want to make sure I didn't miss that part when I wanted to cover this. Avenger hits the board, taking out some cards here, and Avenger being a nice little beefy boy, sitting at an 8-8. Yeah, 8-8. Taking initiative here, which means they're going to get that first good amount of damage into their opponent's base. Wow, oh wow, getting like 2 squadrons, 1 X-Wing on the board, boosting up 1 of the squadrons. It's a pretty good space field here. We got 5 coming out for an OB, which will just clear that space field right back out. So now Avenger's sitting at 10, which is just, yeah. So the Chirrut player decided to give a do a 0+2 to the Avenger. I think he wanted to see if they would play another card afterwards or not. Obi-Wan hits the board, and then we have a forced throw, following up with another forced throw. Just getting the Krennic player to kind of discard cards here. Put him at 7 points of damage. So as soon as the phase ends, he'll be sitting at 1 health remaining instead of the current 3, I think it is. Actually, I think OB also boosts their yeah, it's +2/+2. So they're technically sitting at a 12 HP, I think, before all that happened. But the Chirrut decided, yeah, that's game. They can't do anything to stop that next attack. So we went ahead and went into round 3. So now we're sitting at a 1-1 with going into the 3rd round. Getting the draws out of the way, going into hopefully no mulligans. Let's see if they're lucky. Yep, going straight into the resource phase here. With Chirrut taking the initiative since they did lose last round. Got another squadron hitting the board, following up with an Inferno 4. Inferno 4 is a really good card. It allows you to just kind of scry the top 2 cards. If you don't like one of them, put it at the bottom of your deck. If you don't like both of them, put them both at the bottom of the deck. And then when it's defeated, you get to do it all over again. Going into the second phase, And we just get a nice little trade out here. That's what I've noticed with a couple of these games. There's a lot of just like, if you can control the board, you have the game pretty much. And that's the strategy we see a lot. You kind of dwindle down your opponent's resources or what they can play, and then you just kind of hope for the best here. We see here that the Chirrut player decided to, instead of play a card, just go ahead and claim. And then we got to pass on the Krennic player. And we got another trade going on here. So no damage yet. We got Caden hitting the board finally again. Which I don't think I said earlier, but Caden is a 4/5. And we got Krennic kind of being deployed here as a way of possibly either restoring or even just kind of deal damage where he can. Caden swinging into the leader here. And just getting a good, even though you're not healing off it, you're still denying your opponent possibly a good card. Here we have ECL activate, just kind of get rid of Caden. There we go. I don't know why I almost said so many different names that sound almost similar. Chirrut hits the board. And here comes the X-Wing, kind of boosting it up, kind of strengthening it up a little bit. A force throw happening here. And this gives him options. Depending on what he gets rid of, he can snipe whichever card. And yeah, I think that's the best one because, he would, 2 force throws, even better. Yeah. And then swinging with Chirrut, which would be 5 points of damage. Going to the next phase, we are sitting at 6 resources apiece. And right now we have an X-Wing and the Chirrut leader out in the field right now. And as a reminder, Chirrut hasn't used their epic base action yet, so they're still hanging on to that for possibly a really good card. We got Vigilance coming out to get a 5 heal plus getting rid of the X-Wing, then immediately taking initiative afterwards. Sabine hits the board, and I know there's a glare there. I don't actually remember who that is. We'll see in a second when he cleans up a little bit. Maybe. Well, it doesn't matter. It's gone. Oh, it's K2. Okay. And he's going to use K2's ability to discard a card. Also, sorry about the glare. We're used to recording in a different spot because there was so many people at the Showdown. We recorded at a different area than normal, and I just wasn't aware how bright that light was right where this table was at. Chirrut hitting the board, and this is a Luke Skywalker he did just play, getting rid of the, almost said Darth Maul, but, Dooku. Sitting at 8 resources. I think Strat's hoping to see a super laser blast, but instead he got Vigilance once again, which isn't bad. You're clearing out a smaller unit, and then you're immediately getting 5 heals off that as well. Luke kind of swinging in. We got also open resources, so depends on what's happening here. You could buff up Chirrut to get some massive damage going on. Paying 5 resources. And there is another buff right there, giving another +2/+2 experience and a shield token. Passing over into the next phase. Now the question is, did we get a super laser blast for the Krennic side? If not, that's most likely game, unless he has some Sentinel he can put it into the ground. Sentinel he could put it into the ground area. And it does not look like it, unfortunately. I think he has a takedown and something else, which, yeah, not much you can do from here. Go ahead and pretty much end the game. But yeah, that's round 3. Hope you all enjoyed. Keep in mind, there's buttons, links down below. But yeah, that's it. Bye.